Okay, I'm going to cover TestNG today, and so yeah, what I'm gonna do in this particular package under SRC folder, I'm going to create a new package, and my package name is TestNG sessions.
Naveen, we go through that assignment today.
Sorry,
And that assignment, do we go through that one today? Do we?
sorry, I didn't get you. Which assignment? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, tell me.
Do we go through that assignments that the link you gave for Google?
Yeah, that
Do we?
you just send it to me. I'll have a look. Have you sent it to me?
Okay, but what happened? I could not click all the link because there are invisible link for also the footer link.
Okay, we will check it later, Anu. Okay, we will check
Okay,
it later. Okay, let's not. Otherwise, if we look into it, our time will be wasted. So we will have the separate doubt clearing sessions. Okay, because yesterday also I supposed to start SNG. So better we start SNG, and definitely we will have a look. Okay,
okay,
but not today. You just send it to me. I'll have a look. Whatever you have done,
okay,
I'll have a look.
okay, okay. Thank you.
So in this particular package, guys, I'm going to create one class. And always remember, whenever we are talking about TestNG, so first of all, TestNG is a unit testing framework which is used by developers to write their unit level test cases. Okay, but automation engineers also they can use TestNG to write the test cases for Selenium, for web services or API or whatever, because ultimately it provides a lot of annotations to write your test cases in a systematic way. So the same way you can write your test cases, the way developers write, same thing you can write for your automation test cases also. It provides lot of features like different annotations are there, reportings are there. Okay, you can write your test cases in a very systematic way. You can execute your test cases in a priority basis. You can divide your test cases in the group wise. You can define the dependencies. Reporting is there. So there are different features are available in TestNG. That's why it's so popular in the market, and we will be talking about all these features. Okay, so let me create a class, and always remember in TestNG class we don't have any main method. TestNG works on the basis of annotations. We have to define annotations. Okay, and there is a respective sequence is available for each and every annotation, and it's not like that we have to use all the annotations, but there are annotations are available which we have to use, and what is the strategy and all those things we will be covering all those things in this particular session. So let me create a class. Let's see, TestNG basics. Don't select the main method in TestNG, and before that what you have to do, you have to add TestNG plugin in your Eclipse. Okay, so once you add a TestNG plugin in your Eclipse, you just need to go to right click on your project, go to properties, click on Java build path. You have to add TestNG library in it. So simple click on add library, and this is the TestNG library you have to add, and click on finish in Eclipse. So we have Selenium libraries, we have Java 1.8, and we have TestNG library also. Click on OK. So TestNG got added. It means I can use TestNG code now. Okay.
So
So
we need to add in the each project the test ng
yes, obviously you have to add.
each project. Okay.
You have to add whatever the project you are creating. So you have to add in the respective project, because each and every project it's having its own library system. Okay, so you have to add so that we can write TestNG things now. Okay, now one thing is there, that is sometimes what happens that okay, TestNG plugin is not available in your system. So how to do that? How to download TestNG plugin? You just need to go to help, install new software. Okay, and you have to provide a TestNG, okay, repository URL over here. And how to get that URL? I'll show you. What happened? Just a minute. So sometimes what happens that okay, whenever you upgrade your test, I mean Eclipse, or the first time on Eclipse, TestNG is not available. So just type TestNG on Eclipse. So there are okay, this is the URL. You just need to copy this URL and go to your Eclipse, go to help, install new software, copy this. Okay, the moment you copy this, automatically it will show this TestNG, and click on next, 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 and okay, just install it. It will ask you to restart your okay Eclipse. Just restart your Eclipse. Okay, this is what we are adding, the TestNG library, TestNG plugin. Okay, in Eclipse, this is compulsory. If you don't see any option, right click on your project. If you don't see TestNG option over here, it means TestNG plugin is missing. Okay, in your Eclipse, so you have to download like this to add the plugin, and then you have to add the TestNG library like this, and then you are good to go with the code. Now TestNG plugin, there are number of annotations are available. Okay, so what do you mean by annotation? Annotation means there is a some mechanism or some logic is written behind each and every annotation. So instead of writing that code, okay, let's say I want to launch the browser and I want to do something, and before each and every test case, so I want that okay, before each and every test case, I want to define some preconditions. In that case, one annotation is there, let's see, at the rate before method annotation is there. So we don't need to tell to Java that okay, that for before each and every test case, please execute these conditions. TestNG will take care of it. We have an annotation at the rate test. We want to define 100 test cases. So we don't need to define that okay, we don't need to write our own logic to write the test cases. Okay, we don't need to tell Java that okay, these are the 100 test cases are available. TestNG will take care of it by using at the rate test annotation. Same thing that some okay post conditions are there, or maybe some post steps are there after each and every test case. I want to close the browser, I want to close the connection, something like this after each and every test case. Or maybe once all the test cases are done, I want to delete something or I want to close the browser. In that case, we have to use at the rate after annotations. So we don't need to take care about the sequence and all those things. TestNG will take care about it. So TestNG says that okay, all these sequencing and the configuration and all these preconditions, post conditions, test case execution, report generation, everything we will take care about it. You just need to concentrate on your business. Your business is to write the automation code, to write the test cases. I don't want to take the headache of other things. TestNG will take care of it. So that's the biggest advantage with TestNG. That's why it's so popular. Earlier, JUnit was there, but JUnit and one more tool is there, that is called JUnit and NUnit. They combined together and they created TestNG. With there are so many features with respect to JUnit and TestNG, JUnit and NUnit. NUnit is available for .NET application, and JUnit is again for Java. But TestNG is again, it's only and only for Java. So there are number of features. That's why it's so popular in the market. Most of the companies, they are working on TestNG instead of JUnit. Okay. So in this particular training, we are not going to cover anything related to JUnit. We will be covering only TestNG. Now,
Naveen,
hmm,
so if it's only available for the Java, then we can write on the C# on the TestNG?
no, we cannot. For C Sharp, for each and every language, they have their own unit testing framework. For PHP, they have PHP unit. Okay. For for AngularJS or protectors, they have different things are available. They have Jasmine APIs available. For Java, we have TestNG, JUnit. For .NET, we have NUnit is available. Okay, so each and every language they are having their own unit testing framework. TestNG is only for Java. So let's say what I want. I want to launch my browser. I want to open google.com or maybe any site. Let's say freecrm.com and sorry, and I want to write some test cases. So whenever we are talking about test cases, it means we have to use TestNG. Okay. So let's see. I have a couple of test cases. That first I have to define test cases. What are the different test cases you are going to use? Let's see on free CRM on this particular home page. I want to write a test cases for login page. This is a login page that I'm able to log in properly or not. That this logo image is available or not. This okay. These links are available or not. Okay, something like this. I want to do that because ultimately we have to test. In manual testing also we have to test that okay logo is available. Maybe logo is missing, then it's a bug. Okay, we are able to log in or not. We are able to see the sign up okay link, forgot password link or not. Some footer links that privacy policy or forgot password or something like this. These things are available or not on my home page or maybe login page. Sorry. So how to do that? Or maybe title is correct. So these are the basic test cases we have to write. So let's see what I'm going to do. We have one annotation that is called at the rate before method annotation is there. Now what do you mean by at the rate before method? Before method means this particular annotation method will be executed before any test case. Before each and every test case, it will be executed. So at the rate before method annotation. Now always remember whenever you have to write any annotation, it's compulsory to write the method name. Okay, each and every annotation is having method name. So let's see, method name is public void. Let's see, I'm giving setup. So I'm going to, before writing my test cases, I'm going to do some setup. Okay, to prepare my test cases and to prepare my system and everything, I have to use setup method. So you can use any method name. Generally, we use setup method. And at the rate before method is available in TestNG, you have to import from TestNG. So it's coming from TestNG. Okay. So, and what I'm going to do that at the class level, I'm going to define WebDriver. Simple WebDriver instance. I'm going to define like this WebDriver driver, and this WebDriver is available in Selenium. So just import. Why I'm using this class level? Because I'm going to create number of methods, and I want to use this particular driver in each and every method so that the scope will be globally defined. Okay, the scope is globally defined so that this particular driver can be accessed okay in any method. So setup method is there. Let's see inside the setup method. First, my first task is obviously I have to launch the browser. So how to launch the browser? Simple. I'll be using driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, so I'll write like this: driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Okay, and this Chrome driver is available in Selenium. Once again, just import. This is also fine. And we know that for Chrome, we have to set the property. So I'll get the property from here. Okay, so driver equal to new Chrome driver, and driver equal to new Chrome driver I have defined like this for Chrome browser. Now what we have to do after that, we have to launch the URL. So how to launch the URL? Simple driver dot get method is there, and simple write http freecrm.com. Okay, so I'm launching the URL and coming on this particular page. The moment I come on this page, okay, and let's see, couple of things I want to do. All the prerequisites, that driver dot manage dot timeouts dot page load timeout, let's see 30. Let's see, implicitly weight is around 20. And what else we want? I want to maximize also. Let's see, driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. I want to maximize my window also, and I want to delete the cookies. Okay, so all these prerequisites I want to do, and then I want to launch my URL. It's a fresh URL every time I want to open. So all these things I have done. Now, once all my test cases are done, I want to create one more annotation at the rate after method. At the rate after method, again, we have to write a method for this. Let's see, my method name is public void tear down method. And at the rate after method is available in TestNG, just import. And what I want, once my test cases are done, I want to quit the browser. Simple driver dot quit or driver dot close the browser. Right. Now, so this is my, all the preconditions are defined, and this is the post step I defined that, okay, after, once the test case is done, close the browser. And once then for the new test case, again, open your Chrome, define all those things, and then enter the URL. Right. Now it's time to write the test cases. So we have to write the test cases with the help of @test annotation. So my @test annotation is available. @test, and we have to define number of test cases. So @test, again, it's a method name. We have to write. Let's see, my first method name is, whenever we are coming on any particular site or any page, we have to check the title. Okay, so let's see, and always give the proper name. Okay, like this. Let's see, verify, like this, verify v small, verify page title test. This is a good name. Like we have to write, don't write ABCD or some test 1, test 2, test 3 like this. Don't write like this. Give some proper name according to your project, according to your application. The page, verify page title test. So verify page title, and always write test. Okay, as a suffix you have to write test. After each and every method name, just write test. Or you can write prefix also, test verify page title. But generally we use test at the end, so that we will get to know that, okay, immediately when we generate the report, or maybe we are checking the code also, immediately we will get to know that, okay, this is a test case name. Okay, so verify page title test, and this @test annotation we have to import from TestNG. Now verify page title test. How to verify the title? right? So we have driver dot get title method is there. Okay, very driver dot get title method is there, and it will give you one string. So I'll store some string. Let's say string title is equal to this string. Okay, and I'll just simple print on the console that the page title is whatever the title is coming, title, and so title is coming, I'm printing on the console. That is absolutely fine, but you have to verify it also, right? So how to verify? We have to put some validation point we have to write. So how to write validations in TestNG? Either you can write if else condition. Okay, so let's say I'm writing if title dot equals free CRM, then your test case is pass, otherwise fail. So this is a bad approach of writing. Title dot equals, let's see, whatever the title, and then I'm printing something and then I'm doing some else. No. So let's see if title dot equals AAA, it will print something and test case will be passed. And if title dot equals, let's see, the bug is there, it's not equal to AAA, it will come inside the else part, it will print else part, and then still test case is passed. So for failure conditions also test case getting failed. For bug also test case is getting passed. Right. So that's a bad approach. So we should not write if else condition. Okay. So TestNG provides assertions. We have to write assertions. So assertion is very smart. Automatically it will convert assert into if else condition internally. If the condition is satisfied, test case will be passed. If it is not satisfied, test case will be failed automatically. So we don't need to take care about if else conditions and all those things. TestNG assertion will take care of it. So how to put assertion? So there is assert class is there. Assert dot assert equals method is there, guys. Now see, we have to be very careful. Assert dot assert equals, it's coming from JUnit, so we have to take it from TestNG. Always remember, don't take it from JUnit, we have to take it from TestNG. So what is your actual value? My actual value is title. What are you expecting? And we are expecting this particular title. So let me get the title of this page. This is a title. So I have written one basic assertion. Okay, like this. Assert dot assert equals, and one single test case I have written. Now if you run this program, what will happen? TestNG will give the preference to this guy. First, add the before method will be executed, the setup method. Then immediately it will immediately it will execute at the rate test. And once at the rate test is done, it will execute this particular method. So first sequence, second sequence, and this is the third sequence, like this. Now if you run this program, see, it's launching free CRM and then closing it. Immediately got closed. The page title is this. And if you see the report, it will generate one TestNG report section. Verify page title test is passed. So this is your TestNG session, TestNG basic. Okay. Package name, class name, and method name got passed. Okay. So this is the first test case I have written. Now let's say I want to write one more test case, that at the rate test public void verify free CRM logo test. Okay, you can give any proper name, verify free CRM logo test, and we have to validate the logo now. So let's see, this is the logo. I'll just inspect, and this is the image img. Okay, and the image class is this image responsive. So let me check the XPath. I am okay. So yes, image responsive is available, and we can check that image is there or not. Let's see this particular class. Or better we remove this contains. Yeah, let's use this. Forget about XPath and all. We just concentrate on the. Let's see. This is the IMG. Okay, and dot. So if you want to check that particular element is available or not, we have to use is displayed method is there, right? So is displayed method will return a boolean value, will return a true or false. So immediately what I'm going to do, I'm going to store inside the boolean value like this. Let's see, boolean flag is equal to this. Okay, and then I'm going to put one assertion that assert dot assert true is there. Okay, what is your condition? My condition is flag. You can write like this, assert dot assert true. Also for boolean conditions we have to write assertion like this, assert dot assert true flag. Okay, now obviously if it is displayed it will return true, and assert true is expecting a true value. If it is true, your test case will be passed. If it is false, your test case will be failed. So let's run it and let's see. Okay, so both the test cases got passed. Okay, two test cases are there, verify free CRM logo test and verify page title test. Now see guys, one thing is there, the sequence is defined, two test cases are there. If we have written this verify CRM logo test after this particular test, but it's executing first and then executing this. Okay, so there is no sequence is defined currently. So what is the default sequence? The default sequence, okay, TestNG will use on the basis of, okay, on the basis of their alphabetical order. So let's see, V is same, then F is coming first, so it will execute free CRM logo test. Okay. So, but we have to define the priority. Okay, it's always good to define the priority we have when we have number of test cases. So let's see, I'll define the priority keyword is there after at the rate test. Priority is equal to 1. Sorry. Sorry. Priority is equal to 2. So priority keyword will define the priority. First it will execute this, it will execute this. Don't define the priority in -1, -2. Don't do such kind of experiments. Always define the priority starting with 1, then 2, then 3, like this in the sequencing order. When we have 50 test cases or 10, 15 test cases, in that case, you can define the priority. And always remember, test cases always should be independent. Okay, there is no link between this particular test case and this test case. Test case should not be dependent to each other. It should be independent always. This is a rule in automation in TestNG that test cases should be, okay, independent according to the framework approach, a framework design approach. It's not like that. Okay, we can define the one test case that okay, login test case, and Okay, then we have another login test case, and both are dependent. No. Okay. So dependency you should not provide. All the test cases should be independent to each other. Now the question here is that what will be the sequence? The sequence, guys, first it will check how many test cases are there. It has two test cases. Okay, and immediately first it will execute setup method, before method. Then it will check how many test cases are there. Two test cases are there. The priority will be given to this guy. Priority is equal to 1. So priority will be given to this guy. Then it will execute this test case. And then immediately after that, it will close the browser because @after method is getting closed. Again, setup method is executed. And then how many test cases are pending? This particular test case pending. And then before after method will be executed again. Now the question here is that why people ask that, okay, why Naveen, you are closing the browser again and again? It's good to close the browser, guys, always. You are executing one test case, you are navigating, clicking on some button and checking some element or something like this. There are high chances are there that, okay, application will be crashed because this is not your original browser. First of all, this is the profiling browser. You are using one profiling browser, the duplicate replica of the browser you are using. So you never know that, okay, when it will be crashed, when your application will be crashed. So you have to be very careful about it. If you don't close the browser after each and every test case, now let's say I have 100 test cases in real-time projects, and continuously on the same browser, on the same instance, you are running your 100 test cases, and 100% chances are there that your application will be crashed because continuously you are performing so many operations, so many actions on the same browser. So better, once a single test case is done, close the browser. For second one, execute a test case, close the browser immediately, and then start a new browser and then do it again like this. So this is important.
Naveen, what would be the time consuming to close each and every single test case? Then?
Sorry, Felix, can you please repeat your question?
I'm sorry.
Can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, I was asking, isn't it time consuming to close each and every single test case?
Doesn't matter. Time consuming is somewhere better than getting the failure test cases. It's okay. It is taking time,
Yeah, okay.
right?
And also, yeah, and also one question here. You're using the assert channels, right here?
Yeah.
Can we use the exception also here?
Yeah, we have to use assertion, right? We're talking about assertion, right?
Yeah, assertion. No, we have to use it. I know, but there was some question to use it instead of assertion, the exception. Is it possible to use the exception here, or?
Exception you're talking about? Yeah, it is. You can use.
Yeah, exception.
Yes, you can use exceptions and all. Whenever you feel that, okay, any exception can occur, you can write it. We can take some examples for exceptions also. That's fine.
Okay.
But the question here is that time consuming doesn't matter. Okay, for me, it's okay. Let it take some time. But at least I'm getting the proper results. If you are running all the test cases on a single browser without closing the browser, it will be a big problem. Maybe you can save some 20-30 minutes, but that doesn't matter. If you're getting the failure test cases and test cases are not proper and the report is not proper, or it's giving you some very low rate of passed test cases, out of 100 test cases, let's say you're getting only 60 test cases getting passed and 40 got failed because of application crash, or browser got crashed, or element is not visible, or DOM got stale, HTML DOM got stale. In that case, obviously, better close the browser, open it again, fresh HTML DOM will be there, and then execute it. Okay?
Naveen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Naveen, basically, in the before we are writing the code to open the home page, right?
Mhm.
So So if we want to traverse to the second page, means after login page or anything else, so we will write that code at the in the @ method, or
Yeah. So now the question is,
okay,
yeah, I got your question. Now, yeah,
yeah,
now you have to log in, right? For
yeah,
login, what we have to do, login is after login only you can get into the page, into the application, right? So for login thing, you have to define inside the setup method, okay? But for login, you have to create a separate class for that. This is the class only for, okay, login page. But let's see for home page or search page or sub, which are the pages are available inside the application, you have to create a separate class because you cannot merge over here.
yeah,
The moment you log in, you cannot execute these test cases then because it will be logged in. Then
yeah.
the page title, let's say you are verifying, but the logo test you won't be able to verify, or maybe let's say forgot password or sign up you want to do, you cannot do that because you've already logged in.
Okay,
So for
yeah.
that you have to create a separate class.
So that will be again, it's like before method, or it will be as a @ annotation test meant. It's
Yes,
kind of like
how
that.
to do
Introducing.
that? Sorry. So let's say I'm going to create a separate class for this. My class name is homepage test. Click on finish,
Okay,
and I'll take this entire thing. Okay, launch the free CRM
okay,
application, and then I have to log in. Okay, so how to log in the system? So we have to write the login. So I can create one thing. I can create one method over here, which takes, okay, and
okay.
I'll take the login. Sorry. Right. And what I'm going to do, this username will be this username, right? And the password will be
Okay.
password. And string username, string password. Now, after launching freecrm.com, I have to call this method, login method. What is your username? My username is Naveen. Okay, what is your password? My password is test@123. So this login is done. Okay,
Okay.
and now after login, where exactly I'm going? I'm going to coming on home page, and before that, I'll define one @after method also. Same thing. Okay, and now I'll write. Let's see one test case for home page. Public void. Click on contacts link test. This is my test case name. Import from here. And so for clicking on contacts, what are the preconditions are there? You have to launch the URL, you have to log in,
Okay.
and then we have to get into the home page. And from the home page, we have to click on contacts. We have to click on
Okay.
these. We have to click on some other search functionality. We have to perform or some whatever. Okay, but the condition is we have to log in into the system. Then only we can do all these things. So first log in like this and then execute all your test cases. Let's see, my test case name is @test public void. Click on deals link test. Right, like
Okay.
this. And then I'll write my code for clicking on contacts link or something like this. So let's execute. Let's see. I'm not writing any Selenium code. You can write it over here, okay, by your own. You know it, right? How to click on contacts and all. So
Okay.
let's run it. And every time it will log in, execute a test case, and then close the browser. Again, launch the browser, enter the URL,
Okay.
log in, and execute. Click on deals link. I can define the priority over.
Okay.
Priority is equal to 1. Priority is equal to 2. Let me write the contacts also. Let's see. So we have to switch and contacts dot click, right?
Okay.
And for deals also, let me write. Let me check. For contacts, this is the link. For deals, this is the link. Okay, I just need to change it. A contains deal and store in deals element, and this is deals. Right? Now, after login, see, this is the common step for all the test cases. We have to switch on the main panel. So can we write like this? After login, switch on the main panel, because this is a prerequisites for all the test cases. Switch on the main panel, and then now run it. So what will do? It will execute this, then this test case, then close the browser. Again, it will do this. Login, switch, execute this, and close the browser, and test cases are over. So let's run it. Let's see. Okay. Now the second test case. See, every time it's opening the fresh browser. Login, deals, and if you see the output, both the test cases got passed. Click on contacts link test, got passed. Click on deals link test, got passed. Okay. So always remember, guys, that for login, for home page, for login page, we have to define a separate class like this, because we cannot log in. Otherwise, if you log in into the system, then you cannot verify these test cases. But for home page, we know that okay, we have to click on different links and navigations, and after login, we have to perform all these actions. So first login, and then right click like this. Now the question here is that, Naveen, why did you create this login method over here? You can create in some library also. You can create. Remember that we did page object model. So in page object model, you can define those libraries. Like see homepage.java. Inside that, or login page.java, you can define this login method over there. Okay, but just to explain you can sometimes you can define the specific method inside a TestNG class also. It's not like that in TestNG we always define only and only at the rate annotation methods. You can define non-annotation methods also. You can write like this. So why I have created this login separately, because I know that okay, every time it will be executed. So better to create a separate method and pass the string value and the string password. So this is a generalized method I have written, one generic function we have created, accepting username, password, and clicking on login button. Okay. Now if you want to write a test cases for login feature, again you have to create a login test.java, and then you have to pass wrong username, wrong password, correct username, correct password, and check okay error messages and all such stuff you are getting or not. So that is again a separate class. So we have to define all these classes separately. Okay, any confusion here? Okay, so now this is the
Hi,
project.
Naveen.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Quick question. So, one thing, and is that the standard that for every browser we get the replica for test execution?
Yes, yes.
And okay, and how does that replica browser uh, different from these regular browsers? It has less resources. That's why it crashes, as you were saying.
It's not about resources and all. It's about, obviously, whenever you are launching the browser, this is my main browser. It's opening WebDriver, it's opening the one instance. Instance means, what do you mean by instance? Instance means that the copy of that browser it's opening. Okay, it's not about the less resources or some other less features are there. It's not like that. But this is the not the actual browser. And now you imagine continuously you are doing something on this particular site, okay, and manually also. Sometimes what happens, we have to delete the cookies, we have to delete the cache. In IT industry, generally we say that, right, in our project, that okay, maybe this issue is coming, just delete your cookies and close the browser and do it again, check it again, right? The same thing we have to do it in automation. For different test cases, we have to delete the cookies and then open the fresh browser and then do it. Although it's the exact same browser, but it's a replica, it's a duplicate browser. Features are exactly same, the version number and all those things are same on the replica also. But there are high chances are there which it will be on which the application will be crashed, and maybe the browser is not responding properly, or maybe sometime what happens, the page is not loaded properly. Half of the page is loaded, some of the HTML DOM is still pending, and then the browser got some issue, and then you are not able to, let's say, you are not able to see this particular menu item, or this particular form is you are not able to see that sometimes. Why? Because DOM could not be loaded properly. Okay, in that case, what will you do? Immediately your test case will be failed, right? Let's say you have written 4 test cases for this particular section. All the 4 test cases will be failed. So why do you want to take risk? Better close it and open it again, and the next time it will be visible, and then your 4 test cases will be passed immediately. So you are getting higher number of, okay, positive test cases, pass test cases, instead of wrong test cases or failure test cases.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So now this is my project. Right click on your project and click on refresh. You will see that TestNG generates automatically one output folder. In this particular output folder, there are number of files are available. Okay, some reports and all those things are there. This is your index.html file. Just right click and open it in your browser, web browser. You will see that the complete report like this. This is a very basic report provided by TestNG. Click on contacts link and click on deals links. 2 test cases got passed. If you see the times also like this. Okay, so you can showcase this report. Although generally we don't use this report, we use some extend report or some other reports in that case. Okay, so just a minute, guys. Let me open the door. Just a minute.
Naveen, what kind of reporting tool are you using yourself, company?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. I was asking what kind of reporting tool you use at the company.
Yeah, we use extend report.
Extend report?
Yeah, we use extend report. We use TestNG report in Jenkins. These are the 2 major reports generally we use. But we don't use this report. This is very basic report. We don't use this.
Okay.
Okay, so this is like all about TestNG basics. Tomorrow we will cover some other things like different annotations, different other features, different other like dependency, grouping, exceptions, timeouts, intervals. Okay, we will see the TestNG.xml template also, and data providers we will see. Okay, so please practice,
Naveen,
try to create your test cases and then define.
Naveen,
Yeah, go ahead.
just 1 minute. That can you make me once presenter, because I just want to check whether mine is working or not. That's it.
Yeah, we will do it. Wait for 1 minute. Okay, so please practice with any application you can pick. Define your 4 to 5 test cases with the priorities and create multiple TestNG classes with multiple test cases. And TestNG is very, very simple, guys. You just need to know what is a sequence. That's it. TestNG is very simple, very straightforward. Okay, cool.